When we simplify square roots, we're looking for perfect squares. So a perfect square is when you multiply two of the same number together. So for example, 5 times 5 gives us 25. 25 then is a perfect square. Same thing as if you take 2 times 2 and we get 4, 4 would be a perfect square. So what we're going to do to simplify our square roots is we're going to do a factor tree like we did in elementary school, and we're going to look for two of the same number. Then we get to pull them outside of the square root, and whatever is remaining will be all of our singles, and they will be the product on the inside. So if I look at number 1, the square root of 48, I'm going to think of any two numbers that will multiply to give me 48. So I know 6 times 8 will give me 48. And I want to break all of these down to all of the prime numbers. So 6 will break down into 3 and 2. Neither one of those can go any further, so we're going to circle those numbers at the bottom. 8 will break down into 4 and 2. 2 will get circled because it doesn't go any further. And 4 will break down into 2 and 2. Now I've broken down all of my numbers, so all of my ends are circled. And now I just want to think about the numbers 3, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Those are all the numbers I had circled at the bottom. I want to look for groups of 2. Those would be my perfect squares. So here I have one group of 2's, and here I have a second group of 2's. So each of those groups gets to go in front of our square root. So I have a group of 2, and I have a second group of 2. When we have more than one thing, we're going to multiply. And then inside of my square root will remain the 3. I'm going to multiply the 2 and 2 in front, and that's going to give us a 4 times the square root of 3. So our square root of 48 simplifies down to 4 square roots of 3. Let's look at number 2. We have the square root of 125. So I'm going to find two factors that multiply to give us 125, and that's going to be 5 and 25. 5 actually doesn't break down anymore, so I can circle that, and I know two factors of 25 to be 5 and 5. So I've circled all of my ends, so I'm left with 3 5s, and I want a group of 2. So I'm going to group 2 of those 5s together. That 5 is going to go in the front, and the 5 remaining will go inside. So the square root of 125 simplifies down to give us 5 square roots of 5. So a good way to remember this is you want pairs in the front, and you want singles on the inside.